Good morning. If we could come inside, it's fine that you stand in the narthex back there. That's fine. We can conduct the meeting. I see there were some people here at the earlier service, but I don't see them here now. Debbie Teat is not here. I need somebody who can take minutes. Is someone taking minutes? Delia, okay, thank you. Delia, thank you. I'd like to open us up in prayer. The Lord be with you. Let us pray. Gracious God, we give you thanks for this opportunity to gather at this parish annual meeting. Help us in this meeting to see the work that Christ has set before us. Help us to dig deep and to find the personal, financial resources in order to live out the ministries of this gospel. But most importantly, help us to dig deep within ourselves so that we can be the stewards not only of what you have given us, the people you have given us, the ministries that you have given us, but the love and care that we show for one another. All this we ask in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Well, thank you for being here. I have a short agenda. If you have any questions, please stop me and ask. I'll also make an opportunity for general questions at the end, which may be more appropriate because your question might get answered during the course of the meeting, or something else may trigger a question. The first thing that I would like to do would be to give thanks for the vestry members who are retiring from their term. And we have 4 people. Carolyn Carter is, I saw Carolyn. Okay, Carolyn Carter is leaving as junior warden. We want to thank Carolyn for serving as junior warden, and she has done an incredible job. And I know that she will continue to work with us, and she has projects that she has ongoing, so she will continue with those. I'd like to thank Rob Franzella. I don't see Rob here yet this morning. Michelle Bland. Michelle's sister was here with us. Michelle's sister is recovering from cancer, and she has gone through chemo, so she is down here visiting right now, so we want to keep her in our prayers. But thank Michelle Bland. And then also, last but not least, Dean McNash. The McNashes had left the parish and have moved a few months ago. They have already gone, but I wanted to take the opportunity to recognize them. So I want to thank Carolyn Carter, Rob Franzella, Michelle Bland, and Dean McNash for serving their terms on the vestry. Thank you. Also, I would like to thank the 3 individuals who served as our parish representatives to the Diocesan Convention. Gail Haldeman, Phyllis Stewart, and Sherry Cross are the 3 individuals who will be rotating off of that duty. I want to thank them also for their hard work and their participation. They had the opportunity to vote and bring in, elect a new bishop, which probably will happen once in your lifetime. So I'm glad that you were able to help us. So thank you very much. Thank you. I would like to announce the new vestry slate who have come forward and submitted their names and asked if they could stand for election for vestry. We have 4 individuals. We have 4 slots open for those individuals, and they are Janet Cohen, who is sitting in the back. She and her husband Mark come to the 5 p.m. service. Pauline Grant. I don't see Pauline here yet. She usually comes at the 8 o'clock service. Trella Lewis. I don't see Trella here this morning. Trella, it comes to the 12:30 service and helps us out diligently. She sits right up front, and when I'm trying to say something in Spanish, she's going, trying to get me to pronounce it correctly. So I'm indebted to Trella. And David Whitborn. David's here. David Whitborn. David filled in for an opening a vacancy that we had. That mini term expired, and now he is able to stand for a full term. So David Whitborn is here. So Janet Cohen, Pauline Grant, Trella Lewis, and David Whitborn as our new vestry slate. I would like to entertain a motion for us to approve the new vestry members. So moved. Seconded by Dr. Harris. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Welcome. We're glad that you agreed to serve with us. Thank you very much. Close the door real quick before they get out. Next we have our new parish representatives to the diocesan convention, and those individuals are Lyndon Alexander. Lyndon's here. Mabel Ayer. Mabel's here. Mabel's in the back. Dr. David Park. And Lucia Mejia will serve as our alternate. Most parishes receive 2 parish reps, but because of the size of our parish, we are allowed 3 parish reps plus our alternate. So we have 4 people that will serve in that slate, and the alternate usually does get a chance to certainly attend meetings and to help. So it really does take all 4 people to fill that slate. So Lyndon Alexander, Mabel Ayer, Dr. David Park, and Lucia Mejia as our parish representatives. Could I entertain a motion for approval of those individuals? Moved, seconded, Dr. Harris. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Great, thank you. Next, I would like to thank our senior warden, Janice Villiers. Janice is not going off of the vestry. Janice has been our senior warden this past year. She will serve out another term on the vestry, and I have asked Janice to serve as senior warden again this year for 2017. So we will continue to have that continuity, and I have been blessed by your wise counsel and by your presence and your compassion. I want to thank you. You have done an incredible job, and in support of me and of this parish. And I had said at the 8 o'clock service that you will be speaking at the Senior Saints meeting on Tuesday at 11:30 in the parish hall you'll be talking about immigration issues. And I said it was interesting that God gave us a senior warden who is an immigration attorney at the time that we are in the middle of some of these struggles. So I believe that God has placed you here, and I am happy for that. So thank you very much, and welcome, and again, congratulations. Are there any ministries that are here that would like to report? I spoke with a couple of people, and they said, no, I'm fine. If anyone has any questions about any particular ministries, they would be happy to answer them. But do we have any ministries who would like to give a report? What we will do is put those reports in writing, and just as an update, and we'll post them on the website so that you can visit them anytime. You can see. I know that we're in the process of always updating our ministry booklet. It is constantly being updated with added ministries. Yes, Chuck, please.
Good morning. Good morning. Michelle Fountain and I, Chuck Fountain, we serve as the youth directors.
Yeah, sorry.
Yes, good morning. We serve as the youth directors and ably assisted by Howard and Janice Villiers, as if they're not doing enough. But we just want to say thank you very much for the support that you've given us. Last week Friday through Monday, we visited Montreal, Canada. The youth, they decided that they wanted to see snow. And it was so good to see kids, 14, 15-year-olds, playing in the snow for the first time. And that only happened because of your support. And so we just wanted to take the opportunity to say thank you. I would also be remiss, Wednesday, as you know, is Lent, and Tuesday is Shrove Tuesday. We have been so busy, we haven't had the opportunity to get something in the bulletin, nor to even print tickets. But we're doing a pancake supper on Tuesday. So to start the Lenten season off in the right spirit, you all are invited to attend, and I think the cost is going to be $10 per person, $5 for kids. That was all on the fly. Thank you very much.
We will have that in the parish hall. We will have that in the parish hall, and it will be the last blowout before Lent, so it'll be on Shrove Tuesday, or sometimes referred to as Fat Tuesday.
And we have real maple syrup.
Wow. All right.
No Aunt Jemima.
Yeah.
And we're going to have gluten-free pancakes.
Perfect. I want to thank both Chuck and Michelle and Howard and Janice for all of your work with the youth. Thank you very much. commend all of the work that you have done. Thank you. Thank you very much. I would also like to thank our Sunday school teachers who take various turns at serving on Sunday school. Those of you who serve Sunday school at some time during the year, if you're here, would you mind standing so people take turns? And then you also bring in some of the younger people too that help teach. Thank you very much. God bless you. We are so blessed at this parish to have so many teachers, healthcare workers and teachers. We have a lot of healthcare workers and teachers, so what makes the parish great. I also want to thank the office staff and the staff here at St. Mary Magdalene. I would like to thank Mother Cynthia, of course, and Deacon Lorna for all of their work. I'd like to thank Dr. Park for his wonderful music ministry and his parish administration skills in the office. I would like to thank Patty Blanchett. Patty's in the office. She's our senior chief volunteer. And Katrina Davey. Katrina is here. She is one of our new staff members. She is in charge of membership and communications. So please get the opportunity to meet Katrina. She's a wonderful person. I would also like to thank the choir. The choir is the choir is late, which we would expect. So they're not all here. We will try to thank you in Mass during the service. But those of you who are here, thank you very much. God bless you. Especially those of you who come at 8 o'clock. It's greatly appreciated. A few weeks ago, if you remember, I was up at St. Paul's in Delray, and they do not have any music at all at their 8 o'clock service. And I preached at that 8 o'clock service. It is tough trying to get a crowd who just comes in and sits down without any music whatsoever. So I'm grateful and thank you for coming in and helping us with that music. Great job, absolutely. I would also like to thank the vergers who are here. They are probably gathered they're back at the table eating donuts. That's okay. We have a plethora of vergers here with us this morning because at the 10:30 service we will install a new verger, Liz Shirk-Lambert, and we have vergers from around the diocese who are here with us today, and they will introduce themselves at the 10:30 service. So we want to thank all of them, but I would like to thank Mabel and Liz, who is getting ready to be seated as a verger, and also Angel for their hard work. And certainly, last but not least, all of those individuals who participate and help with the Altar Guild. Faithful members who come in and get the altar set up and get the church opened and set up, not only for our services on Sunday, but for funerals and for weddings. And we could not do what we do here at this parish without them. So a heartfelt thanks to all of the members of the altar. I know that I'm sure that I have left someone off the list, and I apologize. I will endeavor to add your name and do a longer letter so that people can be aware of all the ministries and all of the volunteers that are here at this church at a later date. But I also want to add one thing. At the 12:30 service, Lucia Mejia and Trella Lewis, who helped to really start that 12:30 service, especially Lucia. I was at the Hispanic Commission meeting for the diocese down in Miami yesterday afternoon, or in the morning, and Lucia was there. The meeting started at 9 o'clock, and she was there bright and early, representing St. Mary Magdalene at the Hispanic Ministries convention, and it was great to see her down there. And this service that we have at 12:30 is very much a product of the love and the care that Lucia and Trella and Dr. Park and many others have contributed to help make that the success that it is. It is the largest Spanish service in a non-Hispanic parish in the entire diocese. So we've done a great job. Alex, did you have a question?
You might have missed your father on the ministries. I'm not aware if you have any ministry that concerns the veterans organization. And I want to certify
Of veterans.
veterans programs. I'm on the veterans
We do not have a specific ministry for veterans, but I would be more than happy to talk to you and to get that going, absolutely. As you know, we pray every week for one of our parish members who has been, actually 2 parish members have been deployed overseas, so we want to certainly, that would be a great help. Fantastic. I will get that then, and I will make sure that we try to announce that at the 10:30 service. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes.
In the brotherhood, we do have some veterans, and that's part of, when we pray, that's part of what we do, bless all of our current members and others that are deployed. So, come to a brotherhood meeting the first Monday of every month.
That would be great. That would be the perfect way to connect. Oh, you see how you get co-opted in? Rob's a former senior warden. He knows how to do this. No one here volunteered. They got up, went to the restroom, and came back to the meeting and found that they'd been elected. Asked David Whitmore. That happened to him the first time. At this time, I would like to ask Robert Abrams, our treasurer, and Fred Ruhoff, our finance chair, if they would come forward and talk to us about the budget. There are budgets in the back. Does anyone need a copy of the budget? Thank you. Fred.
Excuse me just a second. I had to turn in my pledge.
Perfect.
Okay, financial statements are on the table in the back. If you don't have one, pick one up on your way out. We're going to try to keep this short because we've got a lot yet to do. If you have questions on the financial statements or anything to do with finances, give me a call or give Robert Abramson a call. He is the treasurer. I am the head of the finance committee, and the treasurer is the one who really sets everything up. The finance committee are the people who record and report. And in particular, we report to the vestry. So every month, the vestry finds out what's going on. If there's something that needs to be fixed, the vestry has notification and they can fix it. Okay, the 2016 financials, you'll see a deficit in there of about $13,200. Primary reason for the deficit was pledge income, uncollected pledge income amounted about $29,500. Could be lots of reasons for that, but that's the primary reason we ran a deficit. We covered the deficit by borrowing from the ministry's bank account, and we do keep track of what comes out and what goes in and what we need to put back in for that. So the 2017 budget shows a deficit of about $63,500. Primary reasons for this deficit: we have a decrease in budgeted pledge income of $20,000. I think that will bring us more in line of what actual pledge contributions will be. We have an increase in personnel of about $30,000, and we have an increase in capital projects of $8,900. Personnel increases include increases in the retirement and medical programs that we're in with the Episcopal Church. It includes a full complement of section leaders for the choir, which we didn't have last year. It also includes a part-time administrator, which we brought on board in December of last year. There's some thought on that, but if you remember back when Margie was the administrator, she was full-time, and she did a full-time work. When David took over the administrator's position, he came in as part-time. So he's part-time administrator, part-time music. And the job is just too big for that, particularly since we opened the Spanish service, and a lot of the work that he does for the 5, 8, and 10 o'clock has to be redone in Spanish for the 12:30 service. So the administrator's job has increased remarkably, hence the need for the part-timer. We also have capital projects of $8,900. These include a security system, which is security cameras, which, since we have a preschool, we really need. It includes some directional signs so that when you come on the campus here, you can see where everything is, which we don't have. If you're coming in the parking lot and looking for the office, you can't find it. So we need those. We're also looking at some outside lighting, which is going to serve two purposes. Kind of beautify the place at night and give us a little light so we can see our way around the parking lot at night. We're not yet into full lights, on poles and this kind of thing yet, but that's a start. There has been some discussion on ways to cover the deficit. Obviously, one of the best ways to do it is to keep pledges up to date. If you choose to increase your pledge to cover some of these ministries, that's fine. All you need to do is put more money in your envelope. Doesn't mean you have to fill out a new card or anything like that. Believe me, when we get the money, we record it on your statement for whatever it really is. We're also investigating ways to make your pledge payment. Checks are still important and probably the most important way, but there are people who choose to make it through an electronic method, either through PayPal, which we do use, or having the bank mail out a check, which is increasing in usage. We do need a way to take credit card payments, because when we sell Christmas trees or roses or something like that, somebody pulls out a card and says, here, and we say, we can't take that because we don't have a machine to do it. So we're investigating that also. That will be, right now, that will be about $400. Another way to cover the deficit, if you want to help on this, is to underwrite some of the ministries of the church. And since I'm in the choir, I'll use them as an example. We do have 5 paid members of the choir. One of them, Louise, who's a tenor, sings at the 10:30 service, and he sings at the 12:30 service. Another one, Andrew, sings at the 10:30 service, and he leads the children's choir that meets on Thursday nights. Did you all know we had a children's choir? We do. And they're working very hard, and they will perform for us. So if you feel the need, if you are so moved and wish to cover the cost of one of these people for a year or half a year or a month or whatever, speak to David. Any money you give for that will be recorded on your statement. And believe me, since I get to keep the books, I keep track of that real close. So we can take care of that. If you wanted to undertake one of the capital projects or part of the capital projects, that would be good. And I'm sure the vestry will come up with other ways to tap into your pocketbook. That's all I have. We're running a little short on time. Any quick questions that I can answer? Okay. My email address is published every month or every week in the program. So if you do have a question, email is best. I will tell you, I check my email religiously about once a week. So don't expect an immediate answer, but I will get to it. Thank you.
Thank you, Fred. Thank you very much. Thanks to you and Robert for all the work that you do. At this time, I'm opening the floor to questions. Just general questions. Any questions? Yes. We'll have the dinner start at 6. Okay. So it'll be Tuesday night, this Tuesday at 6 p.m. in the parish hall right behind us.
Yeah, by the way, there is no charge. It's just a donation if you feel right.
Real sausage and real maple syrup. This will be all Any other questions? Any questions about something that we're doing that you'd like to see us try to do better, or wondering why we do it, or any ministries? Or yes, Chuck.
Well, this is a question to you.
Go ahead and use it.
A question to you, Mother Cynthia and Deacon Lorna. Are y'all still happy here?
What's that?
Are y'all still happy here?
I love being at St. Mary Magdalene. Yes.
Mother Cynthia? Deacon Lorna? Thank you.
Good. Thank you. Thank you. I do love being at St. Mary Magdalene. I really do. I enjoy this parish. As some of you know, I was invited into a couple of processes for bishop in 2 different areas in this country this past year. I did not make it onto the ballot of those places, and I've got to tell you, one of the biggest fears that I had was that I would get elected. Because in doing so, I would be giving up the best job I've ever had. And I love being at this parish, I really do. I love being here with all of you, and the challenges that we have and meet together, the love and the care and the openness and the honesty that we have with one another. It means more to me than you might possibly know. So I want to thank you for the privilege of serving you as your rector here at St. Mary Magdalene. Thank you very much. We had a quick, go ahead, no, go right ahead.
So I see the different ministries. Is there a way, maybe on the website or something, that you get a sense of which one is doing and how it's going?
That's a perfect question. So, Katrina, so the question is being asked, I see the list of the ministries. Is there any way that we can have a small blurb and a contact person and email, phone number, so that we could put that in a booklet and put it on the website? That'll be the biggest thing. That we're trying to move towards communication on the website, because we can just change it as quickly as we need to. So that's something that we're working on, and we will have out. So if we can get a list of all of the ministries, if you are head of a ministry, if you would just turn in, if you've got a quick few sentences that you would like to list, we'll use that. If not, we've got a pretty good sense of what you're doing, and we'll do that for you. And we can always change it if we put it on the website. Yes, Katrina?
Yes, we're working on it, and we urge you to check the website and our Facebook regularly. And if you see something that needs to be changed, send us a phone number or email address. My information is in the bulletin. It's easy. It's katrina@stmnm.org. And check our Facebook. We update very good, more regularly. You miss the service, check us out. What we're doing during the week is always on our Facebook, and it'll always be on our website.
We increasingly are using social media more and more because we can get the word out immediately. I do have a Facebook page. I love it and I don't like it. It's sort of a love-struggle relationship. Well, I guess that happens. But I have a personal Facebook page, which I try to keep my stuff on. It may be church stuff, but it's from my opinion. My page. And then we have a St. Mary Magdalene page, and we also have a St. Mary Magdalene page for the Spanish service. That is all in Spanish for the 12:30 service. So we usually, there's something being posted all the time. If you don't see me for a couple of days, one of the great places to figure out what happened, go to Facebook. It'll pretty much be spelling out what is going on, just like what is happening right now. In speaking with Katrina this last week, we are trying to establish an area in the front 2 pews here and over on this side, and actually we'll put a camera-friendly zone label down here with the website or the address where you can send the picture. So we encourage you to silence your cell phones when you come in, but keep them handy. And if you see a baptism that is happening or celebrating Holy Communion, just reverently, discreetly, take a picture. If you see something, take the picture, post the picture, send it to Katrina, and we'll get it up on media right away. The other thing that we're doing is putting, you can check in each morning at the services, let people know that you're here, that you're going. It's a great way for your friends to see and to invite them into church. Yes, Katrina?
One last thing, we send out emails every week from the church, and if you haven't gotten any, you probably don't have your email address or it's not correct.
Thank you. Yes.
Regarding the email, last week's email, some of the ministries will be coming up after services. There'll be meetings after services for like 3 weeks in March on some of the different ministries to find out if you're interested and maybe sign up.
Perfect. Thank you. I saw a hand up. Yes, Sherry.
So is part of Katrina's responsibility to do Facebook and to do the email updates?
Yes, yes.
So does she and Dr. Park have a way to, if it's somebody sending it to her, that it actually makes it into the bulletin? Do they have some type of system?
The question is, Katrina, are you responsible for putting postings on Facebook? And the answer is yes. What Sherry is asking is if she sends a bulletin announcement and it comes to you, how are you going to be able to get it to Dr. Park so we can make sure that bulletin announcements are made in a timely manner?
We'll just cross-reference, it's not a problem, I'll put it up, it's in the bulletin. Usually I get the bulletin before it's printed, so I scan over to make sure that all the events are in it and make sure everything is correct.
So if you send it to Katrina,
We want to know if it's the reverse. If we send it to her, will she make sure it gets in the bulletin?
so if they send it to you, you'll make sure as the communications director that it gets in the bulletin. Great. Okay, because I know that's been a struggle in the past, I know.
So if I want to change what it says for advocacy and outreach and WAM on the website, I send it to you? On the website.
On the website, how the two ministries, advocacy and outreach and WAM, how they are described, if they want to change what is being written about that, you can do that. Katrina can do this. So if you'll send it to Katrina, and one of the great reasons we have Katrina with us is Sam used to do all of that by himself, and that was not his job. That was his ministry hobby that he would do at night. And I'm grateful to Sam and all that he has done. He does a tremendous amount of work and keeps us up and running in there. But by adding Katrina, we should be able to make these changes quickly. The idea is the news is changing every day, updated every day, 2 or 3 times a day.
Maybe we can put it in the bulletin so that everybody knows, not just the people here, what her responsibilities are, because not every ministry is here,
Okay.
and that's really helpful to know.
All right, so one of the things that Katrina is going to do are little interview biographies of people and ministries. So perhaps the first one we should do is we'll do one on Katrina so that we can introduce ourselves to Katrina. And I'll interview you and we'll get it down and we'll get it posted so everybody can know you and welcome you. Perfect, thank you. Yes.
Very quickly, if you're away from church on a Sunday morning, okay, and you want to partake in the service, we podcast every Sunday morning. We do the 8 o'clock service and the 10:30. And I've been away from church many a times on a Sunday, and I'll pick up my iPhone, and there it is. I can see what's going on in church. So if any one of you here, get the word out to other parishioners. I know for a fact that there are at least 2 parishioners that are here at St. Mary's today because of our podcast. They looked up St. Mary's Church. They found the church in Coral Springs because they're relocated from the north here, and they're attending the church from watching our podcast. Get the word out, please.
Perfect. And also, you will take from the entire podcast, you will isolate the sermon, and the sermon is posted on our YouTube page.
That's correct. So
if
you can
want to
also
see the sermon, you can go to our YouTube page and pull up, and the sermon is there. It's usually there by the evening.
So if you miss any of those other ones, check our Facebook. It's total saturation. You can't miss this if you're looking for us. That's our aim.
There is no provision for people who don't have a car while visiting here. And we need to find, at least to get them arrived the first time, so they can get here.
Well, I understand your concern. That the question is getting a ride, not driving anymore, and needing a ride to get to church. I have not been a proponent of getting a church van because it is incredibly expensive. The insurance is incredibly expensive, and we're basically looking to use it one day a week, and it just doesn't seem practical. Broward County does provide, and I believe that you take advantage of that service. Broward County has a system set up, so if you need rides, you get listed on this service, and they come to your house, they pick you up, and they bring you here. And with the advent of Uber and Lyft, it's the most economical way to get here. I mean, you can get to, if you live in Coral Springs or Parkland, you can get here for $5 on Uber. It's inexpensive. So because that is taking place, it just doesn't make sense to invest in a car and insurance and a driver and all when you can call Uber and do that. And maybe what we need to do, Katrina, is list the Uber phone number or a website address on there. Need a ride, call Uber. And if it looks like we need to make arrangements to reimburse first-time people, we'll do that. I mean, it can't be much, only a few dollars. Lyft, you like Lyft?
Father Mark,
Yes.
there's an easier way to do that too. Donna Drysdale, who comes to 5 o'clock service, she schedules cancer patients who can't get a ride. She schedules 100, 150 people every week. So all we need is a volunteer, not me or not to have somebody that could coordinate with a half a dozen people.
Okay.
The other thing I want to say, Father Mark, your sermon today was absolutely spectacular. Those I've talked to who saw it all agree. People felt very emotional about what you did, and you 1030 people are going to enjoy a great sermon. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John. I appreciate that. It means a lot to me. Thank you. Any other questions? Yes.
Painted the picture that's on the front of the bulletin today, the picture.
Is that the one from me? It's mine. I actually took that picture and it's a photograph, and I used a program to manipulate it to come out like that. So I'm to blame for that. Oh, you liked it? Okay, all right. Thank you. Okay, thank you. If you have any questions, the best way to contact me, is to call me on the phone or text me. If you've got my phone number, which everyone should have my phone number, it's a cell phone number, you can text that. You can send me a text. If you do not text, okay, call me on the phone. You can email me, but I've got to tell you, I have 15,000 emails on my phone right now. They get stacked up. It goes by like a ticker tape. They just pile up that fast on my phone. So many people will say, check your email, I sent you an email. Just text me that, and I'll go back and look at it. I apologize if I miss an email. Sometimes I just flat out miss them. But if you have a concern, especially a pastoral concern, please call us. Don't ever feel, I don't want to bother him or Mother Cynthia or Deacon Lorna. Call us. You have our cell phone numbers. You all have been incredibly respectful of that. I might only receive one phone call a year for something that could have waited until the next day, asking what time a service starts at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night. But it's very, very rare. So please call us, and then we can decide together whether we need to see me immediately or come see you or any of the clergy to come visit you or chaplains. Yeah, you had a question.
Yeah, it's not a question. What happened in the other church that we went to, there was always a note in the back, people's names. And I know when my mother-in-law got sick, my father got sick, my mother got sick, and I was the first name back then. Whereas the people, they would love to read. It made me say too much. I don't want to make a mess of you all. But it was a nice thing that happened.
One of the things, so the question is about having a prayer list, and I support having a prayer list. I know that we were putting a prayer list together and setting it in the back of the church by the candles, so that people who came in and prayed would see all the names of those people and could pray for them at the same time. One of the things that we are probably going to do on the bulletin is to take that back page where we list all of those names, and we will include those we'll make a card, and set the card off to the side so that we can free up a page. That would free up some space for people who would like to be added to a prayer list. But I've got to tell you, sometimes when people, and this is one of the reasons why we moved away from that, was that the prayer list, once their name was on there, we could never get the name off. They just wanted it on there, they just wanted to see the name on there. Now, I don't have a problem with that, but I want to be able to distinguish who needs immediate prayer because they're having surgery or something like that, and who wants to see their name in print. And that is what's happening. And the list is huge. It would take up a page. We could not sit and read them all, and I've been in churches where we've kind of split it up and read parts of them, and that's an option. But if we tried to read them all, it would take a long time. Yes. And we did that. So the suggestion was your name goes on, it'll stay on for 3 weeks, it'll get rotated off, or stay on for the month of February, and then it goes off. And if you want it back on in March, call us and we'll put your name back on. I'm certainly open to that, as long as we can understand that that's what's going to happen. So Mary Gail, you take the names that we have for the prayer list, and you pray for them. As for the Anamkara Fellowship, does the praise for those individuals. We also have our prayer service on Wednesday, and those who have turned in prayer cards and asked for special prayers, they are prayed for at the healing service, the Eucharist, on Wednesday mornings by name. Any other questions? Please, if you have questions in 2 weeks and we think of something, ask us. Ask a vestry member, ask me, ask Mother Cynthia. We'll be more than happy to answer your questions and take your comments. Do we need a motion to adjourn? Yes. You're like Gail. Gail sits up in the front. She goes, that's my sermon signal. Yeah, so a motion has been made. Second. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Meeting is adjourned. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all very much.